Hey, what's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. Today we're checking out the Going Gear EDC Club Premium subscription for December 2023. If you're not familiar with this one, it offers two tiers. Your standard, which is $60 a month plus shipping. That nets you 2 to 5 EDC items each month. Then you have your premium. That one's $200 a month, gets you everything in your standard, plus an additional one or more what they consider to be premium EDC items. So really fun subscription. This is their 24th month of doing this. The first one was way back in December 2021, and that actually happened to be my first ever video on the channel. I didn't upload it right away. I think it went up in February of the following year, because I had noticed that no one ever did that first box. There's a bunch of channels that did the second one, but no one ever did the first premium. And so wanted to get that information out there. That was what really pushed me to start the channel. So really glad that happened. But I do have a playlist that has every premium unboxing for Going Gear EDC Club to date on the channel if you want to see what's in some of those previous boxes. With that said, let's go ahead and dive into the standard box first, then we'll work our way over to the premium. And as usual, I have everything unpackaged, so you don't have to watch me fumbling with the packaging. So first off in the standard box, we have the VanQuest PPM Husky 2.0. PPM stands for Personal Pocket Maximizer. This is a EDC pouch. I have done the PPM Slim, and as you'd imagine, that one has a bit of a smaller footprint. This one's a little bit larger, and this one's just at that point where it's probably too large for pocket carry. You might be able to put it in your back pocket. I would imagine fully loaded out, it's going to be a bit big for that. And if you have cargo pants, you can probably put it in there, but for me, that's a little bit heavy. So I picture using this one in my bags, my slings, my center console, trunk type things. And so in that capacity, I think this is going to be a really cool one, but I will make a separate video on it in the future. They don't give the exact dimensions, so that will have to go in that video as well, but we do have 500D Cordura, weighs in at 3.9 ounces, YKK zippers on here. You can see there's a nice hook and loop panel up tops for your patches. It looks like it's a little bit slimmer than your typical 2" by 3" but just barely, so you can probably still use 2" by 3" patches there. You have a front pocket that is secured by Velcro, and these seem to have a little bit more wiggle room than the netted front pockets that you get on Maxpedition, for example. So I'd imagine these are going to be a little bit more usable, although probably still best for small flat objects, since when it's loaded out, it's going to kind of eat into and cannibalize that space just a bit. Flipping over to that back side, we have some MOLLE webbing, so if you want to attach this to your bag or other MOLLE attachment points, you can. And then this nice little grab handle, so if it is just sitting in the bottom of your bag, you can rip it out of there with that. And so like seeing that there. The zippers are coated. I got wolf gray. I don't know if everyone's gonna get wolf gray. These are available in other colors. I think this is probably my favorite color that they do, so excited to see that one here. And nice zippers on here that are color coded to match, and so they coat that YKK zipper, and then even the paracord is the same color, so a lot of synergy there. It looks nice together. Interior wise, we do have some high vis orange interior that makes it easy to see your items if you're in a low light environment. You can see the YKK on the back of those zippers now. Tons and tons of elastic organizers, and these are elastic, not like that nylon webbing. Various widths. It looks like we have maybe 4 that are probably about 2 inches wide. Then we have a bunch of these 1 inch wide ones, 3/4 inch, 1.5 inch. I'm just kind of guesstimating, but based on my experience with previous patches, that would be my guess on what those widths are, but again, we'll get to that in the full video. Nice generous back pockets here for larger items, and then you have these loops on either side. One thing I really like that they did with this one, they put a key organizer, which a lot of them do, but it's removable, and if you don't like it on the right side, you can swap it to the ring on the left side or remove it entirely. On a lot of patches, those are sewn, or pouches, those are sewn in, and I don't use them that often, and so I feel like I want to cut a lot of those off, but this one's nice because you can remove it, and if you ever do need it, you just put it right back on, and so a really nice touch there. This is again valued at $27, and so very, very happy to see this in there. Now, next item, we got 3 items in our standard. So the second item is going to be our Olight Otical EDC utility tool. And this one is in G10. Again, don't know if it's going to come in any of the other colors because this was available in other colors. I have one in carbon fiber, but not upset about seeing a duplicate in here. 1, because I didn't get it in Going Gear, but 2, because these are really great to throw in little pouches like this and organizers like this, different types of kits. And so sometimes you just forget them in there, or you have more than one pouch loaded out at any given time. And so it's nice to have a second one to put in different pouches. You don't have to swap them back and forth. Now this is a utility knife first and foremost. It does have either a locked or unlocked position. So when it's locked like this, you have to push this down and then slide it out in order to deploy that blade. When it's unlocked, it's a little bit easier to slide in and out. You still need a little bit of pressure on there, but it's a little bit easier to slide in and out. And so if you want it to be a little bit safer, you just push that down. And then if you don't care about that, you can twist this and have it just slide through that track. Now, a lot of other tools on here. You have your bottle opener over here, and what's that looks like, that lion's mouth. You have a bit driver, 1/4-inch bits back here on the back end that can double as a lanyard or keychain hole if you don't want to use it for that. Then you have your flathead or pry tool on the corner, and so a lot of different functionality. I do have this one. I do like it a lot as is. My only complaint is that it does use proprietary blades, which takes away one of the main utilities, which is traveling. If you're traveling light, just to carry on, you can remove that blade and go to any utility store to pick up a standard utility knife. That's taken away with this one since you have to order those online. And so would love to see a version of this that doesn't have that, but overall a very good tool. These are valued at $16.95. And again, we'll be curious to see if they're doing the other colors or if everyone's getting the same colors on all of these items. Now, last but not least, for the standard item, our most valuable item this month in the standard package is the Woobin E62 EDC pen light and knife. And so this is not actually a pen, it's just a pen light because of the shape, but there is no writing functionality on this, unfortunately. I would have loved to see that actually. Really nice looking pocket clip. I like the look of that a lot. The blue colorway looks nice. And then we have 5 LEDs over here. So there's 3 regular LEDs, a red and a blue. I'm just going to turn this on real quick off camera just to make sure that I wasn't in a strobe mode, but you just click this on, it will go into the last mode that you had it in, and there's 3 levels of light. Obviously this low is going to be very low in this low light environment. We can go up to the medium where it gets a little bit brighter, and then our high mode, which caps out at 130 lumens, and then we can turn that off. Next time we turn it on, it will remember where we were, go right back to that. Now, giving the strobe warning now because I do want to show the strobe lights because they're a little bit different here. We have red and we have blue that can be done separately or together. And so to get to that, you double click. This is where we go into that strobe mode. Skip forward 20 seconds or so if you don't want to see that, but that goes into our strobe mode, and you can see flashing back and forth between red and blue, and just kind of a cool effect. Looks like police lights. You hold it to go into your other modes again, and it just picks up where we left off. Now if you turn it off in that strobe mode, the next time you turn it on, it will go back in the strobe mode, not into the last mode that you had it set in. So only kind of downside there. 15-hour runtime in the low lumen mode, and then you have this glass breaker on the end. I definitely would have preferred a pen here, but understandably this light and battery are taking up a majority of the space. You do have a USB-C rechargeable battery that is covered by the silicone flap to keep it IP68 waterproof. Now, you could have potentially flipped this around, put the light portion on the other side, and put a small pen insert in here, but the reason they didn't is they're utilizing that space for a small utility blade or a crafting blade. And so this is a number 11 surgical blade, and so they come with 5 replacements, but you can also just buy them at any craft store or hardware store. They snap right out, snap back into place. Nice little blade on there. Interesting that we got 2 different utility blades this month, but cool items overall. That rounds out our standard box. So for the standard portion of this box, we're looking at right around $93.94, or not right around exactly $93.94. And so pretty good value, about 150% of what you paid. I'm waiting to kind of judge the Woobin E62. On the fence on that one, just because I have no experience with it, but I like all 3 items. I'm hopeful that I'll end up liking that too. Like I said, I think it would have been a little bit better with a pen, but it seems like a pretty cool tool. And from my experience so far with Woobin, they seem to be pretty solid. So gonna put that in the like column, but kind of reserving judgment until I get to use that a little bit. But everything else I like. I think we got a pretty good value in our standard. And then moving to our premium, so we pay $140 extra for the premium, and then obviously get everything in our standard. So this month in the premium, we only got 1 item, but it's a pretty cool one. We got the Kaiser Sheepdog, and this is a premium edition of it. So we have the titanium handles and S35 VN blade. Pretty good looking knife overall. I don't love these cutouts, to be honest. I prefer how it looks on the G10 where they're kind of depressions but not fully skeletonized. I think it kind of cheapens the look overall, but still a pretty cool looking knife, a good feeling knife, and definitely has that premium feel to it. Really nice action on this one, fun to fidget with, and listed at $204. This was designed by Chris Conaway, and 7.75 inches overall, 3¼ inch sheep's foot blade. Don't think they gave us our weight, but again, we'll get to that in the full video on this one. But overall, cool knife. I think it looks really good. I have the mini sheepdog. I actually have a couple mini sheepdogs, but I don't actually have this size. There's also a nice generous fuller here that's not present on my mini sheepdog that can be used for spidey flicking, but again, you have that hole there for the same thing. I think pretty good looking overall. The only kind of complaint I have, and it's not really a complaint, is I don't feel like this is as exciting as it would have been maybe 2.5 or 3 years ago when we got that original mini sheepdog. The original one was a Going Gear exclusive, had the micarta scales instead of the G10, and that was the mini sheepdog, and I was very excited about it. This time, for me, at this point, the novelty of this one's kind of worn off a little bit. So although I think it's still a good knife, it's still going to get pocket time, I'm still going to use it. And I think the value is still there. It just feels a little bit less exciting because it's been around for so long, been on so many sales, and so many people have done videos on it and probably handled it at this point that it's a little bit less exciting to me than if we got this when it was still a newer knife. But it's still a very good knife. That's not to knock it or anything like that. And I'm pretty happy to see it in there, but just a little bit less exciting than I would be if it were a newer model of knife. Either way though, that brings our value in our premium all the way up to $297.94. And so really good value. Again, about 150%. Oops, missed the pocket clip there, but that's fine. About 150% of what we paid. And as you can see, we're nicely on our way to a full EDC kit with these items. Nice variety. I like when it's kind of spread out. Sometimes we get very similar items in the standard and premium, but I like when it's like this where we're getting a lot of different types of item, although we did get repeats of a utility blade. At least they're different styles of utility blade. We got light and a pouch and a knife. And so a really cool month this month overall. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, what your favorite item was. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting that notification button. And as always, hope you have a great one. Take care.